We're live
Good
on
people.
YouTube. You know what it
Good
is.
people. We are live. Let's get Facebook in here.
Yep.
Let's let people
Three,
actually get
two,
time to get in here.
one. Look,
Facebook
we
is
are live
live.
on Facebook.
We're live in the building.
You know what it
Why
is.
is it not showing that we're live on this side? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it takes a little second. Takes a little second.
All right, you know what it is. Let's shout some people out before we get to the
Listen,
sponsors.
Marlon Brown was good in the building.
Big ups, big ups. Why is this on the?
We can take this out. It don't matter.
No, it has a short in the cord. I don't want to mess it with it
So
now.
then why are you complaining?
Put it on the
Close your
floor.
mouth.
Shut
Your
up.
mouth is open.
Shut up.
Close your mouth.
Shut up.
Why is your mouth open?
Shut
It's a
up.
bad habit.
Jazz the drummer was good. Sam Campbell was good. Marlon Brown, oh, you already said was good. Jacque Dixon,
They
good
rolling
people.
in. They rolling in on YouTube. Huh?
Will the drummer, they here.
Not gonna lie, Facebook is a little slow. Looks like we got 3 people in here, man. Look, Facebook, if you're in here, man, say what's up. Say what's up to us. We
Drums
want to know you're here.
Token, Timothy Papula, Blake the mother great,
Man,
Ashley Acoustics. I've never seen that. I've never seen Ashley before.
welcome.
What's good? Welcome.
Welcome. I did send
Uh,
out an email blast though, letting everybody know that we go live on the days that we go live, Mondays and Thursdays.
We a little late, but it's all good.
I mean, but they know what it is.
Eight people. No, let's not disrespect. Let's not disrespect our
No,
fans.
we tell them that it's we log on at we're 2:30 ish.
I tell you what, we 2-ish now. That's what we're gonna tell them. We're gonna start showing up at 2, so we can be live at 2:30.
Oh look, we got 5 people on the Facebook side, but nobody's saying what's up. What's
10
up, Facebook? Say what's up.
Facebook, what's good? FB, we're live. 10 people watching on YouTube. 3 likes. Something's wrong with the mathematics there.
Something's wrong.
Let's get that arithmetic up. Sam Campbell says you know what it is.
Period.
So hit that like button. Shout out to the sponsors Drum Tracks app. If
you know
have
what it
not
is.
downloaded the app, we're gonna say
Download
it every single podcast.
I mean, they're the sponsors.
That's what it is.
We got to do something to keep the lights on around here.
It's still. I mean, half the lights is off because y'all ain't signed up for the situation. You see the back here, the lights is off, unlike last time.
So, real talk, I've gotten some emails from some of you guys who are saying, "Hey, I see you guys have the video section, but on my app, for some reason, it still says coming soon." Well, here's the deal: you have to download the update. You have to just delete the version of the app you have. Go to the App Store or the Google Play Store.
Aaron Shields was
and
good.
Download it.
Rontorius Smith was good. My bad. I'm saying his name.
I see Marcus Murray gave us a thumbs up. What's up, Brody? That's the homie right there. One
Keys.
Yeah. See, but he's
from the Bay.
No. He's from here.
Oh, from Sac. Hey, yo, Marcus. You was on to something with these drum jacks. I don't know why you stopped.
Because Marcus is an investor now. Marcus. Well, he's still doing the music and the and playing and all that. He's a musician all day.
You're a musician, bro. So quit playing.
But
once a week.
But my man is more than a musician. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, listen. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna DM. I'm gonna come up with something, and I want you to go ahead and jack that drum video and do your thing to it.
Oh, brother. I get it. So now you're just saying like, really, I'm mad because you haven't taken any of my videos and made no music to it. Did he make some music to one of your videos already?
Oh yeah, it was fire. It was fire. I'm gonna do it without the click this time, but I'll actually put the BPM on there. So
you might want to keep the click in.
No,
so you
I'm
have
saying
some playing the time. You know how you get.
I'll have click in my ears, but I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna tell him
what the BPMs are.
BPMs.
Right.
The only reason why I don't like clicking the video is just
you don't want clicking the video.
Yeah, but the way that I play, I have had quite a few comments. I say maybe between 10 to 15 comments over the last 6 months. Total that has asked for clicks because I don't always crash on what they think is the one. It might be an E. And so it just helps them understand what I'm thinking with the clicks in there.
Marcus says he said to you, "I'm coming back,
Brody." So. Just once a week. I mean, there's all kind of drum videos out there, so just once a week, brother. Bless us and add me into that repertoire, into the rotation. Is that it for the shout outs? That's it for the shout outs on YouTube, I believe. Any more shout-outs?
We got John 2 Turner. I don't think we've had him on Facebook. I don't think we've had him live in the podcast before. So welcome, fam. JONTUE.
John Chu.
All right, listen.
John 2.
Tell us how to pronounce your name so we don't butcher it. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, John 2 Turner. What's good? All right, let's get into the topic. The topic on today is why is there 14 people watching on YouTube and only 6 likes? That's the topic on today. Quit playing. Hit that like button. 15 people now. Hit that like button. Stop playing.
Here's the thing. We were talking before we went live, and you was telling me about something you seen recently on IG that sparked this
Oh yes.
this idea. Go ahead and share it with the
I
people.
on Instagram there was a guy talking about people who were trying to change their lives. It had nothing to do with music. It just had to do with life change.
Right.
But of course, we can apply that to music. And he was saying that people don't have any intent behind their decision making.
Facts.
And when there's no intent, then what happens is there happens to be no change.
It sounds like this old familiar saying I think I've said on the podcast a few times.
Here we go.
It's the saying that says if you don't know what you want, you'll never have it.
Okay.
Go ahead though. I don't know. I just felt something when
the
ahead.
organ is there, but there's a
we got
blockage.
We got some stuff in the way.
A blockade.
We brought a couple more drum kits in the room today, so it's a little difficult to get around right now.
We got all kind of drums in here now. I got to figure out. Take some of these home. Jeez.
Go ahead.
So practicing with purpose. That's what his video said to me for musicians. This is what musicians can take from that particular. And it popped up in my Explore page, so I don't even know who to tag or to try to send y'all the video. Give credit. I don't know none of that. It was in the Explore page. I watched about 15 seconds of it. I said that's all I needed. And so I noticed that some of my own students don't practice with purpose.
I had to pick up the mic for that.
What I mean by that is, number one, of course, they don't pick what they want to work on. But for those who do, few and far between, those who do pick what they work on, oftentimes when they're playing just to go through the motions. And one of the OGs from way back in the day told me, said, man, you got to play where every note has a purpose. Every hi-hat stroke you play, every diddle, every snare crack, kick drum crash, whatever, everything has to have purpose. And we need to practice in that way. Don't just go through the motions. And what that does is if you have that kind of focused practice and that intent and purpose behind what you're practicing, what are you doing? Is your computer going to die? Yeah. Jeez. All right. When you do it this way, what it will do is it'll allow you to not have to practice for 4 to 5 hours a day.
Come on.
For those people who don't have the time, because there's a lot of people who have busy schedules, families. Some people gig a lot. Some people play in multiple bands. Some people work full-time jobs. And it's like, yo, family, I have maybe, if they're lucky, 30 minutes. If they're lucky. So it's like, okay, you only have 20 minutes to 30 minutes to practice. You definitely need to have purpose behind what you're practicing, and every note needs to count. You can't cat off on anything. You can't zone out and just kind of forget what you're working on. It's like, no, you have to have a specific goal in mind and do everything to obtain that goal. Everybody's goals are different. Some people just want to work on groove, but it's not just working on groove. It's like, well, what type of groove? Are you trying to get good at playing behind the beat?
Right.
Are you trying to get good at playing on top of the beat? Are you trying to get good at swinging? Are you trying to get good at playing shuffles, 12/8? Are you trying to get good at playing odd time? And I'm talking about just groove. We're not even going into solo section. Are you trying to get good at dynamics? I just played a gig a couple of days ago where they had me playing soft as shift.
So basically, how you normally play. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Truck you, bro. Okay.
No,
truck you.
I couldn't agree more with the message of
Carlo. What's good? What's good? He said he's late. What's good? What's good?
There's
Rama the drummer. What's good? Go ahead.
There's a couple people in here, even on Facebook side. We see your questions, Shelby.
Look, and Blake the Grace. Oh, you're on Facebook.
Yeah, I can see we see them, but we're gonna get to you guys' questions in a little bit. I just want to comment on what you were saying right here, bro.
Blake the Grace says Damani needs to boot up the whoop triggers.
The hoop triggers?
Is it hoop or whoop?
It's hoop trigger.
Hoop,
bro.
You don't know hoop was spelled with a W. Thought that was whoop. There it is. You feel me? Hoop is HOOP, bruh. You talking to a real hooper out here, man.
Not when you're talking about church, bro.
Oh.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Get your life. It's way over there.
Hills Lionel, what's good? Kurt Christian says, turn up, what's good?
Check it out. I want to respond to what you were saying, though, because here's the thing. It reminds me when I was a kid, man. When we were young and my dad was looking for trying to buy a house for the family, right? And it was me, my dad, my brother. He taught us a long time ago about being very specific about what
don't have stuff on the couch,
bro.
Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I just want your mouth to close at some point. But he was teaching us about how to be very specific and things you want. He'd be like, "Oh, you guys, we're gonna get a house. You guys want a house?" We're like, "Yeah." I'm like, I don't know, 8 years old, and he's like, "Well, you gotta be specific. What kind of house you want?" And I was like, I don't know, a house that I can live in." And he's like, "Well, you share a room with your brother right now. Do you want your own room?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Come to think about it, my pops would be like, "Yeah, swimming pool would be nice, wouldn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah, swimming pool would be like, these are great, right?" Like, but I wouldn't have even thought to think of those things, right? But what it instilled in me was, hey, once we got focused and specific, very specific, detailed with what we wanted, then at that point we went and looked for those things. I did that with the drums that I got when I started playing drums and I wanted a certain type of drum kit, all of that. And so it comes over to your drumming when you're practicing because you're doing the same thing. You're looking to attain something. It's a certain type of skill in a certain type of area. And that fact that you're talking about being very specific in what you want leads to you actually having the most improvement in the least amount of time
Hmm.
because you're not focusing on anything else. You're focusing all of your efforts on that thing. And like I think I mentioned this in the podcast previously, there's a book that I read called The One Thing.
Hmm.
And it talks about those types of things, not specifically with drums. It talks about it with your life goals, your family goals, your business goals, whatever those are. But if you take it to your drums and you're like, yeah, there's like 70,000 things I want to get better at, but what is the one most important thing that I really want to get better at right now? I, bro,
I would say
we can end this podcast.
it's pretty much over. The doors of the church are now open. Would you come give your life to the Lord? Um, I would
Is there one?
I would say here's the hard part of that. You have to understand that when you set your goal, you need to understand that you are, well, let me say it like this. You should be happy with obtaining and striving for that goal. And you shouldn't be able to allow outside influences to to switch your goal or switch your pathway
In the
of what you're
middle.
in the middle of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
Because oftentimes, I mean, I used to do it myself. It's like when I bought a car. I bought this one car and I had window tint on the back and it looked dope and it's like it's the best car I've had. It was the Roller at the time. Um, you remember from what I had, the '84 hatchback. But anyway, I got the Roller and uh I even tinted the front windows. I was like, man, this dope. Woo, woo.
Okay.
Then one of the other homies had an SUV. I
Right.
had just got the Roller like 3 months ago, and I'm all like, oh man, see, man, you got more space. You got aux core. You got all these capabilities. You got power windows. I got to roll mine down.
And now you don't appreciate your journey.
I don't appreciate, and I've only had it for 3 months.
Right.
And so when you're doing this with drumming, it's like, okay, let's say you are just working on specifically a groove, like you're trying to get good at playing funk, and that within itself is a task. When you see other drum videos, especially with Instagram, because they get straight to the
Yes.
highlights,
Yes.
you see a lot of these drummers playing a whole bunch of other stuff, not just chops. Some people are playing these crazy independent
What's his
ostinato
name?
stuff. Jonathan
Colin
Colin Green or
Green.
something. You
Oh
see
my
that?
god, bro! I've been watching those videos like this is witchcraft.
It is
What
sorcery.
what is he doing?
And so you see
It's
that,
amazing.
and you're like, "Yo, I got to work on that." And you have to understand, no, you haven't gotten your funk groove.
Well, yeah, you're still working on this.
You still got to get this down before you can even attempt to even start on the stuff he's playing. That stuff is ridiculous.
And this, how about this for an idea? What if you got so deeply entrenched in your own journey,
It's quiet.
the same way you do in others on social
I
media? Because
might-
like the guy that you just mentioned, Jonathan Colin Green,
I think it's Colin
I think
Green.
we're saying his name right.
I can look him up.
I've actually DM'd him, and when I had to let him know, bro, what you're doing is magic.
Absolutely.
But
I'm looking them up right now just to
But-
make sure.
but what he's doing is he's entrenched in his own journey. He is
Period.
posting and just sharing where he's at on his own journey. What if you got that entrenched in your own though,
Your own journey.
and you did the same thing for yourself, and you came up with a plan, you had a path for yourself in your drumming, or maybe you're doing it with a teacher, or maybe you're doing it with us by checking out the videos that are on the Drum Tracks app and saying, hey, you know what, I'm finna dive through this urban drum field section and try to get this whole thing down, and I'm gonna start one video at a time. Hey, that's your journey. I think we've who was it that you were talking about that did a video series called Road to Chops?
Taylor Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, this bleeds over into those of you guys who are trying to figure out what type of content to make for social media, which should be a whole nother podcast. Really,
Oh my gosh.
we could do a whole nother podcast on that.
It is Jonathan Green. The John is spelled without an H. Jon. Joe Nathan Colin Green.
Follow this brother, man.
You need to follow. He has
It's
5,000
just-
followers. It's a shame. He should have 50.
You need
Stuff
to
he's
you
playing.
need to follow him just for the inspiration, and it's honest exploration that he's doing. That's what I love about it. But anyway, if you got entrenched, I brought him up as an example of someone who's entrenched in their own journey, and it's a beautiful thing. If you could do the same,
Bruh. And man, you gotta, that goes back to, I mean, we talk about it all the time, knowing yourself, right? You gotta know exactly what you want out of life and be content and happy with that. And it doesn't matter what the outside influences are. It's like, yo, this is my journey and I'm happy with it.
period.
And for those of you who are the Republicans, the conservatives of my own journey, don't bash other people because you can't do what they do.
Come on, it's
Okay,
quiet.
you are entrenched in your own journey, but let's not bash others of all he
No,
does
if
is
you're-
play chops.
if
All he
you're-
does is do.
If you're
hard
bashing
time.
others that way, you're actually not entrenched in your own journey. You're entrenched in someone else's.
You
That's what I'm here
you
to
talk
say.
more about others than you do yourself.
Listen, you need to get off that train because I mean, it's that you didn't buy your ticket.
That part.
that
part. Listen, you got to listen. So
You got to get off the train, Bishop.
you gotta practice with purpose and be okay with where you're trying to go in your journey. I mean, there's so much to work on.
Yeah,
It's honestly too much. It's overwhelming.
it can be.
It's like you have to understand that there are some all-stars out there. There are people who are like Deion Sanders in football who could punt return.
Barry Sanders.
He was a not only but Deion did several things.
Yes,
He was also a cornerback,
yes,
and then he could also play wide receiver.
he could.
But you have to understand that there's people like Warren Sapp, who that man can tackle the mess out of a quarterback,
And he was fast.
He was not intercepting balls. He wasn't blocking punts or returning.
I think towards the end of his career, though, they did have him running the football a couple times.
a couple. I mean, but
Every
you get what I'm saying. Tom
Hey,
Brady is not
every
going to tackle anybody.
lineman who saw that, he gave every lineman
Okay,
who
well,
saw that hope, bro.
all right, well, let
I
me-
was one of those linemen. I was like, you know what?
No,
One day.
listen. Let me ask you this: as a lineman, how many times did you work on down and out routes and slant routes and all of that?
Never.
Never.
Yeah.
But what you worked on and got good and great at was being a lineman. The stuff.
Right. How to read the defense, how to, if you're a defensive lineman, how to read the backfield while a play is happening. Each position on a football team has their reads, and everybody's not reading the same thing. And so, yeah, we learn. That's what we practice all the time. Inside run, and of course, tackling drills, hitting drills, stuff like that.
And it worked to the point where, especially when you're in a band, like a team, if you misread an assignment, the whole
okay, so I watched a little football with my pops this weekend, right?
okay.
And when we saw a play, there was I'm not gonna even say any teams, but when we saw the play that happened and the receiver caught the ball in the end zone wide open. They were like 10 yards from the end zone. He threw a touchdown pass wide open. And my pops was like, how did this happen? Whoop. I was like, that receiver right there, or that cornerback right there. You see how the receiver did this and he went over there? He misread the play. He didn't follow. Like when they go back to game film, they're going to roast him because he just missed the read.
Right.
He didn't see, and the whole thing broke down. And now somebody has walked into the end zone with the football.
Literally walked
uncontested.
in. Just walked right in.
So, but no, I think that's it's to say, hey, you focus on what you're doing. You focus on your part and what your goals are and set for yourself. You can win the game because you're the only one playing, bro. In your world, you're the only one playing.
Come on, man.
What? Why are you laughing?
Yes, you could. You're the only one playing by yourself, but with a band, you got to.
Oh no, but you have to win the game by yourself first.
True.
If you're the only one in the game and you're losing, something's wrong. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta
you get your ass whooped by yourself.
By yourself. So at the end of the day, bro, I think that that intense focus, practice, that having a purpose, knowing what you want to get better at, knowing where you're trying to go, you have to first, of course, know where you are so you can know where you're trying to get to. You can create that map from point A to point B and then focus on getting there, man. Don't let anything deter you. And then once you get to B, create a point C.
And as you're like, I was just about to talk about that. Once you get to that point, it's okay for the goal to change. It's okay for the goal to expand further in
Yep.
what you're diving deeper into it,
Yep.
or shift and go to a different direction. Now that you have that, you may want to go somewhere else.
Not gonna lie, when you said shift, the way you said it, Bishop, I felt a little a slight anointing.
Glory.
Oh
All right.
my goodness.
That's the end of the topic. That's pretty much the end of the podcast. Let's get to any comments and questions.
Listen, we got less over on this side, so let's start
Okay,
here.
let's go with Facebook.
Shelby Cobra asked a question. She says, or he, I don't know, he or she. Shelby Cobra.
Oh yeah, no disrespect.
No disrespect. This is played for 6 years, hung up the sticks for 10. Just set my kit back up.
Okay.
Any tips on what to do when practicing?
Well, what are you trying to get better at?
That's exactly what it depends on what you want, bro. It depends on
are you in a band, right? Are you going for a band right now? Are you just practicing by yourself? I mean, I would honestly say
I know what I would if you're
for starters, everyone has to start with a groove. Everybody got you got to start with some type of groove. I don't know which groove you want to start with. I don't know if it's rock bass. I don't know if it's R&B hip hop. I don't know if it's CCM church, which is really still rock based. I don't know if it's gospel. I don't know if it's swing, but groove is the foundation. I would say
very true. I would say if you're just getting started back into playing, you don't have any gigs, you're just doing it for fun because you remember how much you enjoyed it and you're coming back to it. I would say make sure you download the Drum Tracks app, create a free account, and stream the tracks for free. And I would play to some music and just have fun for a little bit. To make sure that this is still fun. This is still what I want to do.
Wait. You can stream tracks for free?
That part, actually, yeah.
Without actually signing up for the subscription and everything, you still can do that? That's still available on the app?
Yeah, I mean, like just on the iOS side, in the last 7 days, I think 614 new people have registered on the app for free.
How much is free though? Because which version are we talking about?
Right. Because if you in free, you
the
got
original version,
you got to subtract the R and carry the first E.
Okay.
And now it's stacked on top of the second E, so it gets a little tricky.
Okay.
But at the end, it still equals 0.
Okay. You have a calculator to prove any of that at all?
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you got to have faith to believe that words actually mean what they mean. I know that sometimes it seems like that free is not doesn't mean what it says, and to believe that words actually still mean what they mean is a leap of faith.
Glory.
But I'm here to tell you on today that if you look in the dictionary, it will still mean the same. I wish I had some help.
I wish some of the saints would poke your neighbor in the eye. Poke them in their right eye and say we walk by faith,
and not by sight. So Marcus Murray jumped in and said, "Great word, reverends."
I need you to back us up.
Listen,
man.
We need you to come here on next Monday when we do our podcast. And there's an organ right there, Bishop.
Come on,
we need somebody to back us up.
Back us up. Any more on Facebook before I get through all these comments?
Yeah, Andre Avellino Pernet. His question: I've been around since the beginning of MySpace.
Whoa.
I would consider myself to be okay. Some say better than that, but it's been a struggle to upload any videos of myself drumming. I keep comparing myself to the greats.
You can stop right there.
Let me finish though.
You've already made your mistake. Go ahead.
I keep comparing myself to the greats, and I know I need to shake that off, but it's hard to take that first step. How can I get over that and keep it consistent? Listen, it sounds like to me it sounds like to me that you may need someone to let you know to confirm what you already know and to give you permission to actually move forward in that. Bro, the best way to do it is to realize you're on your own journey. You're posting your progress. You're not posting to say I'm the greatest. You're posting to say this is where I'm at and I'm going on a journey. And that's how you keep it going, because you'll just see improvement over time. It's actually a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of people who are also trying to improve like you, who will be inspired by what you do. And as they see you grow, and they'll see that it's possible, because so much of Instagram, so much of social media is just a highlight reel. so much of it.
Talk about
And
it.
so if they don't see the process and the struggle of it, but if they see you going, oh, bro, I remember I seen your videos a month ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. You're so much further along. What did you do? Well, you can see what I did.
Come on. And when you build your own fan base, oftentimes your fan base is further behind than you are.
It's
So
quiet.
they're looking up to you like you're looking up to the greats, and they're trying to figure out, how do I get to where you're at?
Period.
Because they can't even see past you. I mean, of course they can see the greats, but they're just like trying to find something that's a little bit more obtainable, a little bit more reachable. Because it's like, hey, if I just started playing drums, no, you're not going to sound like Mike Mitchell and Mason Guthrie after a year. It's just not going to happen. But there may be some people that you can reach out and say, hey, you know what? If I practice hard enough, maybe I can get to where this guy is in 6 months to a year.
Right.
Now, as you keep practicing, you're going to always be further ahead than they are.
Period.
But they're going to constantly try to catch you, and it's going to take them 6 months to a year, and you're going to be like one of the greatest.
And
Sometimes
then you
it's
turn into the mentor who can share the things that you've learned along the way because you've actually taken a journey.
that part. I'm be honest with you. Sometimes I don't believe half the comments that go in my videos. They're like, bro, how you are so fire blaze, and I too compare myself to the greats, and I go, it's not blaze, it's not fire, bro. It's not what I intended it to be, because I listen to my video, then I compare myself to the greats, and I'm just like,
Yeah, but you've done what I'm talking about right now, where
true.
you've displayed where you are in that time at that moment, and then the improvement is seen. And when they see the improvement, when you see the improvement,
Out of both
it's
shots,
it's
I don't
it's
see it until I watch old videos.
that's how it goes. You
Yeah.
just like a person who's losing weight, the person everyone else sees it before you do.
Facts. That is true. All right, any more questions on
Nope, that's it.
Facebook? Okay, let's go through some of these comments. There's some of them from a while ago, so I'm gonna go through some of the comments where when we was over there preaching. Um, let's see, go back. Shout out to Blake the Great. He said he felt what I was saying. Sam Campbell's diving into the Aaron Spears inspired chops. Shout out to you.
Dope.
What's good with Ivan Heredia? You're in here. What's good? Sticks and Damani, how are you? Pelham says.
Dope. Doing good, man.
We're doing phenomenal. Sam Campbell also said, let's go Warren Sapp. You know what it is. And
Period.
Sam Campbell was I believe he was a fullback.
He
If
played, I
memory,
think he played arena ball, right?
yeah, he was
Yeah.
supposed to go to USC, but you know they not drafted. They recruited. What's that? What's the running back, Sam, that they recruited? That Pete Carroll recruited that you couldn't. They pretty much overlooked you on that one. But anyway, as a
Just gonna put him
fullback,
out
he
there
said
like that.
he never, huh?
He's just gonna put him out there like that, huh?
I mean, he was a great football player. He's just, they went with someone else. It's all good. We've all been there, Brody.
I was going to tell your story, but
It's cool.
I'm
It's
not
cool,
gonna
Brody.
do it to you.
Hey, listen, Sam, he said that he never worked on slant routes I believe he was a fullback. So as a fullback, he never worked on slant routes.
Right.
JD Stewie says, shoot the gap. LOL.
That part, football terms.
Okay, because I was
Yeah,
like,
you
Brody,
know
okay.
nothing about that.
Yeah, it was Brody.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about that.
I played one season of tackle.
And then you played one game, quit, went home
No,
crying to your mother
I played 8 games because we was
in your sleep,
we was 0 and
in your
8.
dreams.
We didn't make playoffs, and
That
we
was your
had
freshman year.
we had,
So I played against y'all.
no. I went to a
Oh,
Christian
okay,
school, private
okay,
school.
okay, yeah.
All I played against the running back from Capital Christian. I forget his name, bro. It's slipping my mind. But anyway, we had ineligible players, so I was playing quarterback, and all of our offensive players had to play defense.
Yeah.
Yes. And we was
Going both
illegal
ways.
because it was a private school. We were so ineligible, we had to bring up junior hires to play on the freshman team and just didn't tell nobody.
That's
It was ridiculous. So I was middle linebacker, and I blitzed on a running back.
Can you imagine?
Listen, and mind you, I was 90 pounds when I was my freshman year. So peep game, I ain't tackled nobody ever. Okay, this is when I knew football was not for me, bro. I blitzed. And I came in. I mean, like I put my face on the numbers, like they say, tackle face mask on the numbers.
Yeah,
I gave
back
him
in the day.
I gave him everything I had. Like I was like, oh, I got him. Like he ain't going nowhere, bro. Next thing I know, I open my eyes and I'm seeing white. Right, so I'm like, what's up? And then my teammates they were trying to help me up, and I said, man, did I stop him? And they said, nah, he down the field, bro. He scored a touchdown, but it's all good, man. You gave it your all. And I got up like, this is probably not this is not for me. So
Not you, bro.
not I don't understand football terminology. Anyway, we need Damani's number when he played football. What number did you wear?
76.
Ivan said that. Rontorius Smith says, so how do you take something out what a mainstream drummer does and make it your own and expand your vocabulary on the drums? So I guess he's saying take something that you learn from someone else or see
I think
influence and make it your own.
yeah, I think well the way you do that is you take bits and pieces. Transcribing is a dope way to really get into that type of thing. So what transcribing does is you listen to something that you really like and you try to write it out or you just try to copy it hearing it. Now there are apps now that slow things down,
Hmm.
that allow you to hear it without changing the pitch so you can really hear what's going on. That type of thing. And you don't have to take an entire solo and transcribe it and try to learn it note for note. But if you can take small pieces,
Concepts.
concepts, like we talk about it a lot. We've done it a lot with musicians that we like and listen to. If you listen long enough to a musician, to enough of their playing, you will hear some similar concepts and things that make them recognizable to you. And if you can take those small pieces of it, and then add that or try to add something that sounds like that to your playing, you're on your way there.
I'll give you one little nugget. When I do Skype lessons, I tend to do this with learning concepts. Sometimes when you're watching a video, you actually point out a concept, but you want to know it, you want to learn it note for note verbatim, and that's wrong. So, perfect example. Someone said on one of my videos, "Oh man, you got to teach me that crossover sweep or whatever." I can't remember what I did, but he said crossover. And I
Okay.
said, "Okay, so the concept is the crossover thing. You don't need to know exactly what I played, note for note verbatim.
You just need to start crossing over, bro.
Crossover. So literally put your hands like that. For those of you who are watching, my right hand's over my left. So as if my right hand is on the hi-hat, my left hand is on the floor tom. And then start playing drum fills that way. Like play a groove for 4 bars and then do a drum solo or do 4 bars of drum fills just with your hands in that locked position, like floor tom and hi-hat, and see what combinations you come up with
Right.
as a crossover. So
Sounds like experimentation to me.
experimentation. JD Stewie says hashtag win your own game first. Ivan says a babosha. Glory. Timothy says shift in the atmosphere.
Listen,
Obviously, these are way from way back. So I'm just
right.
getting to them. I do apologize. I'm not gonna read all of them.
Shout out to my pops. He just joined into the podcast
Pops is in the building, man. If
on
I
on the
wasn't vegan,
Facebook.
bro, I need that barbecue again. You feel me? Or I actually could throw it on the Beyond situation.
Bro, ain't nobody barbecuing that Beyond
No, I'm
crap.
saying I just need the sauce.
Oh,
Just throw me the sauce.
yeah, I guess
Throw me the sauce.
the sauce is still vegan.
Yeah, we straight. Um, Tyrone J. Thomas says you must have been watching the Steelers. They my team, but they defensive backs need help. They DBs need help, bro.
It's possible that that's who I was talking about.
Ashley Acoustic says Drum Tracks app is dope. I mean,
Appreciate you.
um, what's free in the Greek? Well,
That's a good one.
Will the
How
drummer
do you
says,
translate it?
how did you in the Greek? Ancient Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
All right. Ivan says, I need that organ for some help. Absolutely. I got the keyboard fired up, Doc. Man, y'all comments is going in. It's quiet in the church. That's what Blake the Great said. Thinking about switching over to Aquarian drum heads. How are the coated snare heads? You guys are dope, by the way. That's by C Hoops 1. It depends on your type of snare, and uh, it depends on the type of gig you play. Now, for people with snares, here's a bare basic thing. The thinner the wood, the thinner the head. It works best. Also, if you're using steel drums, thin heads. The problem with thin heads and single ply drum heads, I would say that is they do break easier. So you may want to not hit so hard. Thicker the wood, you can get actually no, I take that back. Sometimes super thick wood, you need a thinner head because the wood is so thick.
What I was gonna say is the way that we have figured out what snare heads we're using on what snares is literally through trial and error and experimentation.
I mean, well, yeah, that's
So
but
so
some
that's
people
but,
don't have they don't know. Some people don't have the finances to go buy 7 drum heads because drum heads are now like $30, bro.
right.
It's
No, I
ridiculous.
understand. So Yeah, I get it. So, but it's too nuanced to give a specific answer
Yeah,
because it depends on too many things. There's too many variables.
true.
It depends on the gig you're playing. Depends on the size of your snare. It depends on how thick the wood is. It depends on all of these things at the same time. How do you give an answer?
Hey, listen, this is what I did. Okay. I spent about 2 hours in this room. I had like 6 or 7 snares, and I think only 3 drum heads. Yeah, I had 3 drum heads, and I put each drum head on all 6 or 7 snares and played them. So I did a single ply drum head, the thinnest I could find, the thickest 2 ply drum head with a power dot. So that was the high impact by uh, Aquarian, and then I found something in the middle. It's
Got it.
either response two or high velocity. High velocities work pretty well though for snares. They work really well. And if you want a thin head or just a single ply drum head, Jack DeJohnette's work amazing. All right. Let's see. You keep mentioning Mason. Am I right? What's his full name? It seems that when I'm searching it on YouTube, I see is Harvey Mason. No,
And then
Mason
Mason Gidry,
Gudry, not Gundry.
GUI, right? DRY.
Guidry.
Yeah.
On Instagram, he's
Masonic.
Masonic. Masonic, yes. So that's Mason. Mason Gudry. Blake the Great said, "Don't get lost in the sauce sticks." Sam Campbell, I was an offensive and defensive lineman. I was wrong. USC didn't want to wait for me to get my degree. I did learn as a lineman that we all have to be able to have specific set of fundamentals.
Yep. That's true.
Dorama the drummer, why do y'all like Aquarian so much? Remo is where it's at. It's all preference.
Yep.
Every company makes great stuff. They all have great stuff and bad stuff. So it's preference. I like Aquarian because they have more options available.
And they don't like dent so easy.
That, bruh, that too. Oh my gosh, they stay in tune longer as well. I'm coming from P77s. I play on wood snares, gospel,
Wait,
CCM,
P77s.
the P77s drum heads.
I've never heard of
I
those.
believe they're Remo.
Oh, okay.
He plays on wood snares, gospel / CCM, R&B. I play those genres. That's from C Hoops. High velocity for you, sir. Sam Campbell, I mean, y'all, a whole bunch of comments from Sam. So I believe that once you have those fundamentals, you can integrate your God-given talent and what you feel into the fundamentals you learned.
Sure.
He says, sure.
No, yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
you don't want to elaborate on what he said?
I think that what he said was pretty self-explanatory. There's like, and if you relate what he's saying to drums, right? You have your fundamentals.
Mhm.
You have things that you like. Everybody needs to learn how to groove.
Yeah,
Everybody needs to know what an eighth note is.
yeah.
At least if you don't know what it's called, you still need to know. You need to know that. You need to know the fundamentals of what it means to play rhythm, time, all that stuff.
Hmm.
Then you start getting creative.
You need to know what the count of 2 and 4 is.
Period. And you need to know the snare goes there. And you need to know not to hit the tip of this. You hit the middle of the snare with the tip of your stick. I don't care what they tell you.
I don't care what they tell you. You better rim shot that thing, man. Blake the Great says if you play a 1 ply, single ply drum head, don't use ball tip sticks. Listen, I say this: don't use ball tip sticks for any reason. That's how you dent your drum heads. The ball tips are it's terrible. It's not good.
Acorn tip, right?
Acorn, man, because yeah, acorn. I don't even want to go into the explanation on why ball tips are terrible.
Yeah. Do we have any questions on that side, or is it just comments at this
Just
point?
comments. The last comment here. Oh, shout out to Bill Cosby. Good people. Not the real Bill, but the YouTube Bill Cosby.
You know what it is.
Sam Campbell, last comment. Practice those things with confidence in who you are, and you will be blessed as well as bless others. Okay. Good word on today, sir.
Listen, at the end of the day, or was that the last one?
No, we got a question, and,
Oh, okay.
and I believe this is going to be directed towards you. Carlo Marcello says, any tips when practicing with power? You play with power?
You try.
I can't say the word, but I'm going to use this microphone.
Anyway, playing with power. I don't know. I've never really had an issue with that. I think what for
Do you have
most,
any tips for people who don't play with power? How?
I think it has a little bit to do with your technique. Some people are like throwing their whole shoulder at the drum trying to hit it hard, but it doesn't really take that.
Mm.
I think it's like there's like a whip action
Mhm.
on how you just you hit the snare, you just do it. I don't know. I don't
Hey,
know how to
listen,
explain how to teach it,
play
but
football, lift a whole lot of weights from
wow.
football, and you're gonna gain your strength. And the next thing you know, you'll
You'll
play
be
with power.
next thing you know, you'll be breaking drums all the time. But no, at the end of the day, I want us to walk away from this podcast at least with the understanding of what it means to practice with purpose. You have to create a purpose. You have to decide what you want to get better at. You have to decide that you want specifically what it is that you want to get better at, and you want to go all in on that, and you want to be laser focused on that and not be swayed till you get to that goal. And then you can add, and it's cool to look outside for inspiration and things of that nature, but you got to get really focused, laser focused, if especially if you don't have a lot of time, because at that point you can get faster, you can get better faster, spending less time practicing.
Ario Maka,
Hmm.
Ario Make. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry, bro. He says, "What do you guys are trying to?" I'm gonna read what I think you're trying to say. What are we trying to achieve musically, us individually?
Um, Individually for me, musically, I am trying to achieve is like a self exploration thing, really, for me. It's a I just want to master as many skills as I can on the instruments that I play in an effort to be able to translate the music that comes through me in creative process during the creative process, and to create music that like that's my the goal for me when what I'm reaching for in music is just like the creativity, the freedom, and the height of creative expression musically for myself, whatever that ends up being.
I am two things. The main two. There's a lot of things. The main two is I want to be able to play what I hear in my head,
Yep.
because oftentimes when I'm practicing, I can hear what I want to do, but my body physically can't
It's
do it.
disobedient still
It's disobedient.
at this point.
And the second thing is I want to basically be as innovative as possible. I wanted to get to a place where as soon as you hear my drumming, you know it's me playing. And there's quite a few people that I look up to where if you didn't show me who the video was, but I saw you playing it on your phone, or if I heard you playing it on your phone, I'll be like, oh, it's that person. And if it's not that person, it's somebody that sounds like that person. Like we
Mhm.
know that we've been watching Eric for years. So
Yep.
you cut on an Eric video,
We know him immediately.
we are Bing, Baka,
Sky Skidoo.
Ska, Skadoo as fast as I can't duplicate it. It's so fast. It's
Bing
ridiculous, bro.
Baka, Sky
But I mean,
Skidoo.
it's not just that. He has other
Sky Skidoo,
other
Skabing
chops
the
and all that.
cow.
Stop it. He has a whole lot more. That's just the first thing that I noticed from years ago. But he
Right.
has a whole lot more nuances and new things that he's added into his playing
Yeah.
that we can tell. Like, oh yeah, no, that's Eric. Same with Ronald. I can almost tell Tony Royster now. I can almost decipher like, oh, that sounds like Tony. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I noticed that both from Sam Edmonds. I noticed you both hit the cymbals really hard, and it sounds amazing. I get really nervous of the cymbals being too loud in smaller venues. Any advice on which volume I should be going for crashes? Obviously, in smaller venues, we don't play the cymbals that hard.
Nearly as loud. What you see on Instagram is recorded
Hmm.
and
We're in
mixed,
a room.
but
No
it's
one's in
it's
there but us.
right, and it's mixed, so we actually turn the sound up and down and things of that nature to match the rest of the sound of the kit when you're hearing it on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. But if you're at a gig, you just want to be mindful of the room you're in. You want to be mindful of the material of the walls, and because if it's like brick or cement floors or anything like that, it's gonna reverberate and have a lot more reflections. And when that happens, hitting the cymbal soft can end up being too much because the sound just keeps bouncing all around the room and it has nowhere to go but to continue bouncing all around the room while you're adding more sound to it that's also bouncing all around the room. It's really it just sounds like a wall of sound after a
I've
while.
played a few of those gigs. It's terrible. Use brushes.
Yeah.
Ashley Acoustic says, "Do you have any video on how to set up a talkback mic in ear? Purpose, the reason being communication between the drummer and the MD. That is not a question for us. We don't have that a video of that.
We don't. Well, see, here's
Talk
the
to Soundman.
but at the same time, there are things that concern drummers. Like, number one, how to record, like we record our videos, and how to create drum covers, how to do some things with audio, because that's just what's required a lot today. And I actually do have the knowledge on how to do these types of things. And so it's been floating in my head for a while to do like a video series on how to do some of these things. So I don't know how soon that's coming. I'm not promising anything, but
For the low price of $35
But for the
to
people,
download the 4 videos.
this guy, but for the people who are registered on the app that are paid subscribers, you can expect to see some videos like that in the future.
All right. I think that's it for the questions.
So, all right, y'all. I hope y'all got something out this podcast, man. It was a good time. It's always good rocking with y'all. If that's it on the YouTube side, that's it on the Facebook side.
I got one last question here.
What's that?
This is one. I'm answering one more question. It's coming from Rontorius Smith. So if you guys are typing now, I'm not going to answer any more after that. So you got to wait till the next podcast. Rontorius Smith. Last question. Do you think drummers should play all styles of music, but an expert for one? You think they should play all of them and be an expert at just
I think
one?
it depends on what your goals are. If you're trying to be a working musician that gets hired by other artists, then you want to diversify your skill set, because it makes it most likely that you can get a job playing multiple genres of music, because you're just trying to get a job. If you are doing this for artistic expression and creativity, you should double down on the thing that you're trying to be creative in, and the style that you're trying to be creative in for the time that you're trying to be creative in that. And that can change over time. But at that point, you want to really dive deep, because there's a difference in trying to be creative and playing for creativity's sake, and preparing yourself with enough skills to work. If you're trying to get hired for a job, then you want to gain the skills needed for the marketplace. And in the music marketplace, if you're a drummer, it's good to learn how to play pop music, gospel music, rock music, all the country, so that you can get hired to do those types of jobs. But if you're doing this for artistic expression and creativity, and you're trying to be an artist yourself, or you're just exploring this because this is your artistic outlet, then all of the learning all of the genres of music isn't a necessity. But there is something that you can learn from all the genres of music.
Well said. No, we don't offer Skype lessons.
So, all right, y'all.
We don't know when the new track's dropping.
I have some new tracks already. I've been like, should I drop them October 1st? I'm gonna probably drop them October 1st. That's around there. You feel me?
All right, new tracks coming October 1st. Hashtag all the way through.
You know what it is.
Share this with everyone that you like. Turn on post notifications. We will see you guys Monday, 2 p.m. ish.
2:30. Wildin'.
Pacific Standard Time.
You know what it is.
On Monday.
Do us a favor. Share this with your people, man. If you got some drummers that you feel like would love this stuff, share it, man. Put it on your page. Take some clips from this and throw it on your Instagram. Let people know that we are out here having a good time on Mondays and Thursdays.
And like the video.
You know what it is.
20 people watching, 16 likes. Come on, man.
All right, y'all. Peace out to YouTube.
Peace.